Pisces Venus, welcome to your love and relationship reading for the month of March or whenever you see this. Let's see what's going on with you. Anxiety, too much. You're afraid to get close to someone. They are scared too. Give them a chance. And this is also just general vibes, right? So we'll get into what this really means for your relationship. Too much. You tell others too much about yourself all at once. Sit back and listen more. Vibes. Okay, I'm also a Pisces Venus, and I do fucking share a lot in the interest of common ground and understanding and relating. And I guess that's a problem according to the tarot. Three of Swords right off the rip. Heartbreak, separation, triangulation, just distance, right? And we see, look, there's distance and lack of like-mindedness. Three of Pentacles, though. Learning, mastery, my dear. And having a lot to offer, people wanting it, people seeking out what you have to offer. King of Wands reversed. Oh, leading when you don't deserve to lead, teaching when you don't deserve to teach. My way or the highway, Burger King attitude. I have it my way a little bit there. And just unearned authority. And then Eight of Cups reversed. A need to clean something up. So there's something that's been made a mess of that's caused a separation, and it has to do with unearned authority over someone else. But there's a desire because there's a desire to have that authority because there is a type of inner knowledge and wisdom, like a mastery over something, like you feel that you have the answers, therefore you want to share them and teach them. But for this situation, it's inappropriate for some reason. So your person, how are they showing up right now? They are trying to learn, and they care about that relationship very deeply, and they want to have something to offer and bring to the table. Okay, one more. Okay. So they're open to learning, and they're putting the relationship at the center of it all. They want to heal a relationship, but here's the issue. There's a family breakup, family dynamic, childhood wounding situation happening here. And it's caused a lot of confusion, delusion, and misinterpretation of the facts and the reality of it. Because what we're looking for is insight, growth, self-actualization, really. But there's not something on offer here. There's not an achievement. There's not a growth aspect to it, because the focus is all on how unfair life can be and how the dream was dashed and the dream can't be achieved here. So someone or both of you are stuck on the dream that didn't come true. So we'll see who's who in this situation. What are you hoping to get out of the relationship? What are you looking for? What do you want? Leave me alone. You definitely want your space here with the Hermit, but you also want to reach higher new levels of understanding. You're a seeker, and you're looking to get to the bottom of the situation in your relationship and why things have grown apart and become more separate and detached, and how your person, despite wanting to learn and grow in the relationship, is struggling with it, and you as well, where there's been a divide that's happened despite kind of both wanting the same thing, and you're wanting that insight, but I keep coming back. It's got to be this lack of the dream thing, right? The dream that didn't come true. What else do you want out of the relationship? Do we need to know anything else? No. Okay. What do they want out of the relationship? Eight of Swords reverse. Free themselves from the mental trap of their own doing. And I think it's showing up that way. It could have been a Six of Swords, right? Like, just get me out of here. No, they know that they've created a mental trap for themselves. However, And they're not interested in talking about it. They're not interested in discussing it. They're not interested in taking impulsive and fiery action and passionate action towards it. The Hangman. They want to have a new perspective on it. Two of Pentacles. They're not sure how to go about it when it comes to you. So I think that your involvement here is holding things up. I'm not saying just break up. I'm just saying that the way that you're trying to teach them and tell them and guide them and figure it out for them is harming the situation, not helping. As much as they would like to know and learn about it, you're not able to be the one that can do it for them for this reason. And then we get kind of like the lack of passion, enthusiasm, and will to go forward and move forward. Okay. What are you afraid of in the relationship? Knowing it all and not being able to help. I felt emotional before I even pulled those cards. I did. It sucks. It sucks being a bystander and feeling like you know what could work, and yet they're not able to hear it. They're not able to take it. They take it in and process it and take action on it. Really. Having to take care of it all yourself and having to be, as much as it's like the leave me alone card is here, it's like I would have liked, it would have been nice to be able to be dependent on each other in that way and be a team. And she's alone. She stands alone here, Queen of Pentacles. So it's also a fear of having to always be the one giving and never the one receiving. What are they afraid of in the situation? The truth. About their anxiety, their fears, their worry, their mental habits. They're afraid of their own mind. They're afraid to be alone and go within their own mind and sort out the root cause that you're so willing to do, that you're passionate about it. And of course, that's why you're telling them to do this. I'm sure you've already said. I know I have. But this is confirmation to you that it is indeed, they're afraid to look deeply within themselves to understand the root cause, because it takes them back to a place that is terrifying. It's disempowering. It holds some element of futility. And then the Two of Wands reversed. They're afraid to heal themselves and look outside of themselves and make a plan to heal themselves, because it would require them to let their guard down and be vulnerable in a way. And also admit defeat after fighting for so long and relinquish their power. And that power was fought for tooth and nail by your person as a means of survival. And because it's so core in the subconscious, we got the Pluto card here, so core in the subconscious, the unconscious. It's hard to approach that and say, I relinquish my power and give it up to faith, because faith was dashed early on in the matter of not getting that dream and not getting that wish fulfillment. And so they turn to a fight or flight and a survival mechanism here of always maintaining some level of control so that they can never have that hope and that faith in the dream be dashed again. I mean, if you're me, if you're a Pisces Venus, chances are you already knew this. So what do we do about it, right? How do you see them in the situation? How do you see them right now? Queen of Cups. You see them as wanting to be more emotionally in tune and being more intuitive and kind of having a lot of these emotional answers already. So you see them as having the emotional answers, but you see them as being dependent as well, with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Or they don't have the proper tool set and they're not taking it into their hands to elevate themselves to the position of the sun where they have their own joy and happiness. And then it's a lack of that spiritual wisdom with the Hierophant. It's almost like, if you know, so you better do better. And there's something here about them being too fearful to take the proper action. Like they know, but they're not doing what's necessary. And maybe you feel like that's an easy thing and are easier than what it is to them. How do they see you in the relationship? King of Cups reversed. They see you as withholding your emotions towards them and being more cold, of pulling back and pulling away. We saw that with the Three of Swords, Ten of Swords. Why? They're afraid that things could come to an end and a full stop. And they're afraid that they have been largely the cause of that. They feel that it's just written in the cards with this context of this card here. Oh my God, my nose is itching like crazy in this reading. And I haven't quite figured out what that means yet. Maybe I'm just tuned in, right? I'm drawn back to this. You tell others too much about yourself all at once. Sit back and listen more. So you're saying too much. I think you have a relevant experience here with the way that you overcame your own fears and the way that you let go of the power struggle and the power issues, and that came about as those survival mechanisms, and you let go and took on faith as a way to move forward. And so it's like you do know the rule book and the tool book, but did anyone tell you that? If they did you hear it at the time? Or did you come across that for yourself? And now I ask us, is this something that faith needs to be applied to? That they will come across and about it in their own way, in their own time. And that by listening, you stand and hold space for them. And that is the best and the only thing that you can do for them. Emotionally, they see you as being unconditionally loving. You stood by them through so much of their difficulties. They recognize that. They acknowledge it. They know that there's an issue. They want to learn. They put the relationship first. All of the factors are here, the correct factors that I would look for to give someone the benefit of the doubt that they will be able to come across the understanding and knowledge of this on their own, of what they're afraid of is what they've got to dive headfirst into, to sit with themselves, to process those things that made them feel powerless, to give up their power and give it to faith and trust in the universe that, and that's their own journey, right? It's kind of, you're giving them this negative emotional messaging to push them here. I think that the distance of I don't accept that you've been stagnating here. I don't accept that that's okay. Yet the unconditional love and support is a sign of faith for them, that you have faith in them. There's something here about that. It's time to sit back and listen and just hold space for them and let them approach it in their own way, in their own time. What are you learning about the way depression can lead to intuitional realizations? It's the need to go within. If you have no other thing to distract you from the way that you feel, the way that they feel, and it hurts to such a degree that you're searching for answers in new places now because the logical answers aren't forthcoming and don't solve anything. And that's how the intuition and the trust and the faith in oneself and one's inner guidance and inner wisdom is born. And you're learning about that connection there because it's something that maybe you escaped your notice. What are they learning about right now? Four of Cups reversed. It's okay after experiencing many failures, emotional failures and defeats, to still hope for a better outcome. Four of Pentacles. Hold tightly to what you've earned and be grateful for it. You've already come so far. Those things are worth protecting. Those values are worth protecting. What values are worth protecting and which ones aren't? And how to separate yourself from the expectations of societies and other people's as well. So they're definitely on the path. What are you afraid of here? Or what are you releasing? Excuse me. You're afraid to release something here. A strategy, taking control, taking a new attitude towards something. Trying to game the system, trying to figure out and problem solve your way through this situation for your person. Judgment, because you know. And it's really hard to stand by and know and yet not be able to share that and help someone. But that's exactly what the situation is asking of you. Because why? I feel that Source wants you to experience what faith can look like in a new way. And it's about trusting that another person can reach the same heights on their journey that you have, and watch what that looks like to unfold in another person the way it unfolded in you. And how sometimes you can know much, but spoiling it by telling them what they need to know and solving all their problems and making it easy is stealing the most beautiful part and the most valuable thing about that journey for them. What are they letting go of this at the time of this reading? Hope, healing, renewal, negative emotional messaging about that. Wanting to compete, wanting to fight, wanting to say their piece. Inspiration. They're reaching a rock bottom here. And it leads to seeing the silver lining in it all. They need to reach the rock bottom to see the value in what they've truly been through. Because right now they're in a place of confusion and fear, and they don't know which way to move forward. Because they're still holding on to hope that they can hold on to their power, their control, these subconscious, unconscious, habitual mechanisms that cause them so much grief. But they still haven't figured it out that it's because they're holding too tightly to this, to their personality, to the way they react to things, to having their say about what happens in their life. This is high level shit, I will say. And I think that it's isolated you both because they can't have anyone around them help them through this. Because you've been through this, you understand better than anyone. And that's why you've been trying to help them so much. But it's time that you also step back, because this is a journey that they have to go on alone in the dark night of the soul. And you can't protect them from that. You can't pave the way for that. You can't shine a light on that. It steals the essence of what that journey means. And so at this time, you're feeling separated because you felt the futility of what you were trying to help them through. And once you finally let go and say, this is their journey, I cannot help them. They may fail, they may fall, it may all be destroyed. I have to have faith that what will be, and that they are capable and strong enough at this time to face this journey alone, to hit the rock bottom, and to understand what they find there. All right, let's get a clarifying love situations on your behalf. Unlock the gate, explore the unknown, and walk new paths together. It's about the new path being them doing this on their own. This is a new path for you both, that you can't help them. But it's coming up telling us that still together you will walk it. Unexpected joys, life surprises or gifts, opening doors to unforeseen adventures. I think there's something in this to the way that they process their dark night of the soul that will surprise you and light you up and give you a gift. There is something to be gained from this. By letting go, by stopping the you should do this, you should do that type of behavior. I mean, I'm on here reading tarot. How much do you think I do that with my person? All the fucking time. And so it's hard when you know something for yourself, but it's time to step back and admit that you don't know it all, and faith that they will figure out what it means for them in their good time. For them, temporal bonds in the realm of flighty bonds, true connections waver but endure. And this is a time where they're realizing that you will get through this. You've shown them unconditional love. You know, you've shown them the proper things that, and then that you want to help them and you want to teach them. You're not able to, yet the desire is there, and that means something to them. They want to learn. They care. So they're learning that this is a rough spot, but that doesn't mean that it's over. What else for them? Pisces Venus's person. Flight plan. Sometimes things fall apart for better things to come. And I think they're having to accept now that letting go of control over where the relationship goes and how they're seen by you is a part of that process of letting go of their control. That if this does all fall apart, that means that there's something better on the other side of it. And they had to accept that. They're holding very tightly. And this is something that they're learning, is that they have to let that go. Even if they're afraid that the dark night of the soul journey for them could tear you all apart. So, and that's something that they have to accept as a possibility. That's how deep and important this is. Your reassurance. You know, I don't know if it's doing much good. Hold them in a space of unconditional love, I'd say. Continue to do so, yet, you know, they're scared, and just be there for them to speak and tell you when they're ready. Other than that, do your own thing at this time. Angels, Ascended Masters, and Loved Ones, give us some advice for Pisces. Remember that you can't change anyone but yourself. What need more I say? You know, you can't do this for them, and they're right on the cusp of it, but it's going to require them to let go of even the possibility of your relationship falling apart, of everyone turning against them, of them having to change everything about themselves. They don't know what all that could mean. And obviously it's a very scary aspect because they care so much about your relationship. But you can't do it for them, and that's okay. Have faith. That's the message of a Pisces, is have faith. That's what we're all here to learn more about in every context in our lives. And so this is one of the greatest manifestations of that, is have faith that a person that you love and know so well can make it through one of the most difficult journeys without your support or your help. Bert, that's tea. I hope that helped you. If you like that, check out your rising sign reading for this month that I already posted, and stay tuned, like and subscribe to me. It would mean so much and help me on my journey. I wish you well. Take good care of yourself. Until I see you next time. Bye.